Gushway would have liked to have perched up there himself, but he didn't really have the option and was knocked back. Aggressive now, push from the London Spitfire, but Gesture might have gone a little bit too far, and it seems to have been the case. Gushway does get shield bashed here, but Birdring was traded out, so now it's a 4v6 favouring the Hangzhou Spark. A creative approach from the Spitfire map, but it doesn't really seem to work. The Spark's still in control. Bear that in mind, 40% for them now.
Yeah, oh god! Oh man, Fury's so good at eating grabs, but no, the London Spitfire, they need to engage onto the Spark here. The Spark's still in control of the point. With the composition they have, they can fight it for so long. You see, it's going to be grab plus self-destruct here. Used for London. Primal Rage still available. Usually he'll pop it now, so just trying to get some extra percentage here for the Spark on the point.
He's that kind of player who is probably the best in the entire Overwatch League at shutting down Graviton Surge. Look at this, he saves just a little bit as he pushes around the corner. And he timed it so well. I don't think anyone does it like Fury.
Trying to find Rhea.
I mean, he has to connect this, right? He does. It's a good connection. Rhea's going to drop the self-destruct right in front, but it doesn't really dissuade the Spitfire from pushing up. They get Rhea. He was knocked out of his mech or ejected voluntarily and didn't have the durability to stand up in the heat. Gesture, very cute, tries to come around the left with a bit of an Earth Shatter. The Spark are down a player. They might give up the point conditioning or somewhat, but they need to stay close by. Probably wants to push up though, and that's a Shatter.
Oh, they got the point!
Knocked down! Despite an excellent shatter coming out, oh, London got off the point. The Spitfire moved away. Yes, getting two players shadowed off.
In the moment, you don't really even think about that.
That's cheeky! Gesture swatted aside like a fly there. Hello. Watch him. He's out of position. Back with his team though. Rhea's got in there on towards Birdring and Gesture. Not only is he low on health, but the shield's low, and again, the Spitfire didn't have a huge source of healing.
And I mean, that's the advantage of holding the point here.
But no kills are scored from those. Fury playing off towards the backside of the point here, eating up a bit of Rhea's damage. With Gushway and Crystal down now, he's going to have to leave the point. The Spitfire able to hold here and get themselves in the game. Hangzhou not really looking that rich in terms of ultimates. Well, here he's already at full charge though.
This grab can't get eaten if you're the Spark.
Oh, there it is, Gesture! He tried to go for the Earth Shatter, but it was interrupted midway through the swing, and now they have nothing. Crystal was quite deep there. He's looking for Birdring, but Baby's able to finish what his teammate started. Fury will try and stall here, but there's no need. The Spitfire are already at maximum without winning the round. 99%, and that's when Hangzhou retake. That forces the Spark back through the choke here. Here comes the Graviton Surge. The YDK seems to be the only prize that was caught. And oh, Jude's right down! They're going to need him up on the point here. Quickly's going to try and return, but Notion has fallen. Both teams are lost to support, but Baby had the transcendence. It's a rally for Birdring here, and Gesture is trying to find his way back to the fight. He catches Gushway inside the small room, and look at the Sparks health bar. They're disappearing. Still, Prophet finding that pick off now. The London Spitfire have 4 on the point right now. The Spark is so split. Now, controlled of the Spitfire. That was bizarre. The Hangzhou Spark were pushed off the point into a series of hallways that are rarely used. Crystal had a nice little couple highlight clips from that one. So, Gesture Shield's not going to last very long, but great Zaya Bubble did it to him at least to allow him to get up close. But with that Immortality field in play, it's going to be tough for the Spitfire to deal with, and yet they do so. But Ocean's found God's B of all people with a headshot. And the Spitfire have been able to do just what they had to get rid of Bastion, Matt. Now, that was very risky for London, right? Trying to get Gesture in front of that big turret.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to see somebody like play like that way against the Bastion.
Oh!
Here's a grab that comes in. Nothing the Spark can do. Well, now that they stayed on this comp for so long, Mitch, I mean, it's going to be so difficult for them to come back.
You can snowball out of control, I feel, man. Self-destructs here. Fury in the doorway. Got IDK. Nice little placement. That really would have been felt, that blast. Multiple different areas. Break LOS on that one, and now 2 down, man. I think this is a pretty open and shut case.
Yeah, London knew exactly what to do against the Bastion comp that the Spark brought out. That last point was not close. London dominated there, the final point of Oasis.
And they'd love that now, heading into map number 2 to secure Oasis. A map that used to give them absolute nightmares, but now the London Spitfire showing us what they've been working on in the interim.
Spark just need to get aggressive onto the point, or else Gesture's going to be able to conserve that shield, and you're never going to be able to work it down long enough to get around the corner. Gesture getting very low, though.
That is so clever. The Spark traded in the health of Gushway's shield for damage on the rest of the Spitfire's heroes. He was set up there, and from the high ground you saw Rhea just getting damage in. Godsby also working around the side, taking Birdring down to about 10 health. That is just great trading with a 3-3 composition. It feels good as Reinhardt when you can hold your shield up and know your teammates are going to get the job done.
Both teams trying to gain some up, and oh, he got lucky. That grab did not get eaten there. Fury coming in, self-destruct over the top. That'll be 2.
And that should be enough. Yeah, not really a hint of subtlety about Godsby's approach there.
The bank to complete the map, so you're forced to use sound barrier there.
Gesture, oh,
Not fun for him.
the sound barrier was there for IDK though, so the Spark were, they had an itchy trigger finger expecting that one to come through, but this is just how quickly these teams that don't even feature DPS or damage dealing heroes can destroy a 500 or more HP target. That was lightning fast.
And Payload very close to completing the map.
Self-destructing over the top here, Adora pinned up against the wall. Gesture still able to protect his team though. However, Murdering and himself both go down, and that's a two-player shatter. Prophet and Fury knocked to the ground. The Hangzhou Spark, they don't just bring the thunder, they rode it straight to the end of the map. Beautiful snowball. And a masterclass in the 3-3 composition.
I think it's really just how they utilize the shield, and then when it comes down to those Zarya bubbles, see how far back you push Gushli.
They are so aggressive, the Spitfire, but the Spark are doing their best cactus impressions right now. Because as soon as the Spitfire descend upon them, all of their hit points just disappeared. Gesture won't get away with that one. Tom Surge later in the fight. He needed to keep his main tank alive. Both teams going for the shadow, but guess what? Gushways looks a heck of a lot better. Gesture's caught inside the grab, and yeah, the damage now in from behind. IDK just skirts around the cracked Reinhardt shield of Gesture, and the rest of his team collapse, and they finish the job. Here comes a self-destruct. Now, what does this do for the Spark? Can it break him out? It can! Gushway ends Gesture. It's a fire strike. It wouldn't have mattered if Gesture had his shield up, but he had an Earth Shatter, and he may not have a chance to use it now. Gesture in the charge, gets his second for the fight, and Birdring falls away in the weary. Fury will try for a self-destruct, but there's no one left on that point to contest. And the Hangzhou Spark, they fire back across the breach with a quick map 2 victory. And we're even here, man. And we are starting to see both of these teams show their true colors. The Spark look great on a map type that historically has just straight up not favored them. He's still a little bit low. Birdring and Prophet taking a bit of damage now. Fury just playing off to the side. They have forced the Spark off the point without any loss of players here, which is so fascinating. But guess what? It's Primal Rage time. Gushway really gives his team a boost when he has his ultimate active in these fights. Let's see what he can do. Transcendence is going to be used. Gushway taken to the sky now to the front door here. A bit of free damage to be had as no one was looking this direction. And Godsby's going to have himself a Graviton Surge if he survives. Looks good so far. Maybe though not so lucky. They're going to go for the Graviton Surge anyway, but a sound barrier now comes out from the Spitfire. Birdring, he's so low. He tried to get out with a shield bash, it looks like, but he was caught by Gushway. And Rhea was able to run Nuss down. Do they check this corner? Yes, they do. Okay, this could be pretty dangerous. They might have put themselves in a bad spot. Gushway's going to drop right on in now, but Godsby is taken down. He still gets the Graviton Surge away, and there it is. Rhea fights two, and it was not even a moment for the Spitfire to get to the point. They never even got close. They almost got to shore, and the wind just blew them back out to sea again. Mark will double back just to join up with him. Casey doesn't get, just so he doesn't get picked off anyway. Fury self-destruct on the corner, no good there. Graviton Surge coming out, Spitfire. They don't have a Transcendence to stave off the damage here. They really need to do more, and they can't. Rhea gets another double. And now it's going to be Nusset on the point, pressured away here by Rhea pretty comfortably. Gesture trying to use Primal Rage, but he's stunned up. And that damage you said, Matt, that always gets aimed at Winston's in a pinch, it was right there. And the Hangzhou Spark wipe the floor with the London Spitfire and go ahead in the series now. So instead he wins the race, and the Spark know just how to get it done.
Yeah, and this is a map where London will look back on in their offensive attack, but they're going to wonder if they should have ran that Reinhardt into the defensive Winston of the Spark. They don't. They get full health in this close quarter area. Gushway does get stunned up. They keep him pretty toughed up though in terms of HP.
Without the heavy hitting Reinhardt map, the Discord Orb is such an important part of this composition's success. Baymax found 2 kills. He opened up the fight by getting one on was Gesture. This is about to get really messy. Gushway out, about to throw out some postmodern artwork. Plenty of that red paint. Birdring being taken out by him will stop the Spitfire.
This is it though. I mean, there's only 20 seconds on the clock here. I mean, they need to make something out of this push.
It's gotta be now or whatever, but what do the Spitfire have to work with?
Nothing.
Couple sticks around the nature trying to make fire, but they're missing the spark. Hangzhou looking just far too good.
IDK with the nice boost.
Oh, yeah. Where you going, Jester? Where are you going?
Nice play.
This is Mousetrap edition of Overwatch League, ladies and gentlemen, and the Hangzhou Spark shut the door in the space of the Spitfire. They have been grounded on Gibraltar. It's going to be able to help Jess to keep his shield up, and the London Spitfire is stuck in the cupboard under the stairs. No mail on Sundays. Well, there won't be any games on Sunday for the Spitfire because this is the end of the line for them.
In a decider, how does that happen?
Hammond, it's going to be the wrecking ball now returning to the fray, but the Spitfire taking a lot of damage, but they get a door up. That could be huge. Getting rid of Bebe is massive.
Why did the Spark not just get aggressive and just go in?
Transcendence, it's Bebe. He's able to protect his team. Gesture's knocked out of the way. Gooshway's a little bit low. Shield down. Gesture's also missing. Now for the backside, Godspeed can continue to pressure on down, and Birdring might just have to take some shade here. As the sky is just filled with projectiles of damage. And there's a Hangzhou Spark just handing them out. Shot after shot and hit point by hit point. The Spitfire are cut down to size. And now it's going to be a Transcendence for Midoshin on the point to try and keep this thing alive. But they just get handed an L. And that's going to be it. The Hangzhou Spark, in their first playoff appearance in the Overwatch League, will advance to the semi-finals with a victory over our reigning champions, the London Spitfire.
And this is the Spark team we were promised at the beginning of the season. We had heard so many good things coming into the Overwatch League. The player of the match.
Guess who?
Guess who?
Guess who? It's your boy. It's Gooshway.
So I think you could have picked a lot of different players from the Spark. I think you could have, picked, like, let's say IDK. I think you could have picked Rhea. Godspeed had a good series. But where I thought you saw the biggest difference in this series between these two teams is that main tank battle that we highlighted at the beginning of the series. And I think with how much resources a lot of teams now dedicate towards these main tanks, you gotta see value. I think you saw a really nice Reinhardt play from Gooshway and Winston, where I think you saw Gesture at times, fall back on that Winston, go back to that hero that he's so comfortable on, not want to go head-to-head with Gooshway in that Reinhardt battle.